Good morning, traders. Manny Cabrera here from MDC Trading Academy with today's pre-market forecast for Friday, March the 4th. Let's quickly jump to our news items for this morning. Everything is already in, everything in reference to unemployment news and everything, so there's nothing else that we need to be concerned with in the market. Unfortunately, none of this has really helped the market in any which way as we jump quickly into our analysis with our 30,000 foot view. As we can see, the market is just moving sideways once again. We've been in this whole pattern here for the last several sessions underneath the 200 and the 20 SMA, using this area here as support. We're just stretching out the other shoulder for the head and shoulders. We'll see what happens here. We still have this descending triangle, and volumes already at almost over 400,000 early this morning. So again, ranges continue to be high, volume continues to be high, and the bars are one next to each other, whether the same ranges. We're expecting the same kind of movement we've been having here the last several days. That's the good news. The bad news is that it hasn't been really good because there's a lot of chop between these areas, a lot of chop. This bar, for example, yesterday we started to the upside, we ended up to the downside. This day, the day before, we started to the downside, we ended up to the upside. So it takes a lot of churning back and forth before the market makes up its mind which direction it wants to head. So a little closer behind these numbers, as we can see, we're still within this area here. We were expecting the market to continue a little higher above this new range that we found ourselves in. We jumped right back to where we started from. As you notice, this is where we've been. This is where we have been, so that's why the activity within these areas seems so familiar, eerily familiar. So that's what's happening in the market right now as we look at it. Here's a good test of the fact that this is a strong area. We have this trend line here, which is holding up the market. Market clearly breaks below it. Now it's using it as a strong resistance. It rebuffs right off that area. Here's our ranges for the day. Let's see what we're looking at in reference to today's activity as we look at our analysis chart here. This is the intraday high of yesterday, the intraday low. Again, we find ourselves within the intraday high and low of the last several days. Market had a strong reaction during the pre-market. It found a bottom here. Market again is in this very, very tight compression between these two areas here, and that's what we're having right now. So we're expecting just breakouts out of this area. Like I said to you, the market tends to move sideways for a while, kind of churning around until finally finds the strength to break above and loosen itself from these grips of these tight compressions. So as long as we see breaks above here, we're looking for longs. Anything above here, we're looking for shorts. Probably right in here, we're not looking for much of anything. Take care, have a great session.